Hello and welcome to Conversations here on NTA Network, where we engage you and ourselves about topics that affect all of us. Now, the 2019 general elections is just around the corner, and it just makes sense that we talk about things that affect us and that affect the elections. That's our topic today. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the program, we'll all introduce ourselves so we know who we're talking to, who we're conversing with. I'm Nike.
I'm Mimi Azape Urubibi. I'm also the senatorial candidate for Benue Northeast. That's Zone A in Benue State.
All right, and I am Rita Abuja, and also an FCT INEC ambassador.
Oh, fantastic. So we have the right women in the house to talk about this.
You can say that again, sister.
So Rita and Chief Mimi. Is it okay to say Chief Mimi?
Yes, because I'm double chief. I'm a chief in Tivland and I'm a chief in Enugu State.
Wow.
So that's double.
Wow.
Okay. We'll start off by talking about women in elections in particular. But before we do that, we're going to take a short musical break in the spirit of unity, faith, peace, and progress in the land Nigeria. We'll be right back after this on Conversations.
We are determined that the flame of freedom once alight shall not go out again in our country.
We know where we're coming from. We know who we are. We sing a beautiful song. That is why the Niger is a star.
We've climbed the mountains, we've swum the rivers, we've broken several chains. That is why we are who we are. We've climbed the mountains, we've swum the rivers, we've broken several chains. That is why we are who we are. We all leaves on one big tree.
We family like 1, 2, 3.
And we positive, we are positive. And we positive, we are positive. We all leaves on one big tree.
We family like 1, 2, 3.
And we are positive, we are positive. And we positive, we are positive.
We owe our great nation the best. It is true home for every man. Like free birds, it's our nest. One for all and all for one.
Yeah. We've climbed the mountains, we've swum the rivers, we've broken several chains. That is why we are who we are. We've climbed the mountains, we've swum the rivers, we've broken several chains. That is why we are who we are. We all leaves on one big tree.
We family like 1, 2, 3.
And we positive, we are positive. And we positive, we are positive. We all leaves on one big tree.
We family like 1, 2, 3.
And we positive, we are positive. And we positive, we are positive.
The peoples of Nigeria must at the same time be guaranteed their freedom.
And we positive, we are positive. And we positive, yes we are positive.
We positive, we are positive. We positive, we are positive.
And we positive, we are positive. And we positive, yes we are positive.
It is better to live together than to live apart. beauty of democracy rests in the power the system has given to the teeming population to elect an eligible candidate of their choice for any political office. But the right to vote is not a license to kill. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people, where majority carries the vote. It is not a do-or-die affair. Your weapon at the poll is your permanent voter's card, not a dagger. Your future is in your hands. You have the right to leave. Don't cause trouble. Vote wisely.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. See if she wants to ask something. No, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
Welcome back. Conversations here on NTA, and in the spirit of the elections just right round the corner, we're going to be talking about it right here in the conversation room. We have Chief Mimi, our double chief, and Rita, our INEC ambassador, FCT INEC ambassador. What has that been like, Rita?
Oh, it's been quite a ride, if you ask me. It's pretty much me becoming a nosy person where INEC is concerned, meaning I need to know all I can about the electoral process, and because people call you up and say, hey, you're INEC ambassador, where can I get my PVC? I registered here, I need to get my PVC. When is it ending? Thankfully, the initial date for collection of PVC was 8, right? Okay. And now it's been extended to 11th of February, so more people can get to pick up their PVC because we know the number of those who are registered to vote, but we do not know just how many or what percentage of that number have collected their PVC. Okay. As from what we see, there's still millions of PVCs left uncollected. So the more people can go out and get it, the better. Okay. So generally speaking, being an INEC FCT ambassador has been quite a ride. They pretty much just carry us along about what is happening, what people need to know on how to get their PVC, the electoral process. And I'm always very interested in how it affects women. We know almost 50% of those registered are women. But what percentage of those have collected their PVC is what I worry about, really.
Are there challenges with distribution? Because like you said, even up till now, it's been a challenge for people to get their PVC.
Yes, there are challenges from what we have seen. But I think INEC is stepping up their game to make sure that they meet up with this and get more people to collect. No, the issue is we Nigerians generally, we wait for fire brigade approach. I mean, there's been announcement out for months. I don't want to say years. They say you can go and get your PVC. But we wait till they say this is the deadline before we move. Yeah. So everybody wants to get it now because now we see the polls there, we have to vote. But we could have done this months before now. Yeah. So the earlier the better is always the case. But having said that, there's thankfully an extension, so people should just go for it. Check the websites, make sure you know where you're going to pick it. It's one thing for you to go pick it. If you're in the wrong location to get your PVC, then your wahala just starts.
Yeah, I've seen that actually.
If you say fire brigade approach, I think people are just reluctant, they're just tired. Because when the dividends of democracy is not there, you rush out, you pick PVC, you go vote people. And you are expecting your life to change, you are expecting that, look, things will get better.
So it's a kind of apathy, right?
Yes, so it makes them kind of withdrawn. Okay. Because the first time it was like at ward level. And then you have people up to polling units. When people could hardly feel themselves, and then they are struggling to get out transport, to get out there, to pick a card. And they are not sure of what it will turn out to be. Okay. Do you understand? So it's not even that they are waiting for fire brigade approach. It's because a lot have not gained the dividends of democracy.
So that means we have major stakeholders who are not playing their roles.
That
politicians, for instance.
Of course, I'm one among them.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Good we have you here, because if you know, Nike, that when you vote, you would get you will have a leader that you can hold accountable.
You'll be the
Maybe
first.
the leaders themselves, we actually encourage their followers to go and get their PVC. The question is, after the election, it's like the next election is what they are thinking about, nothing else.
No, but if you look at it, what kind of leader? When you say leader, like a stakeholder, you've brought nothing for the people to gain. Let's say I'm a politician. I'm a stakeholder, even in my ward. And for 4 years or 3.5 years, there's actually nothing to show for. Take, for example, like in Benue State, where you have civil servants have not been paid for like 8 months. You have pensioners that have not been paid for 17 months. You have local government staff for a year, 2 months, and then teachers. So how do you stand to look at these people when they are like, a lot of them, pensioners, are dying every day because they lack money to buy their routine drugs. And then, for instance, I'm in government, then I go there, they'll throw it back to you.
They will.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
They throw it back. So you will be a leader or a stakeholder in court with questionable character because everything is wrong. So what are you representing them for? Are you, when even salary that is a right has become an achievement in most states? Hey, there are some states that when salaries are paid,
it's celebrated.
It's announced, and that's the word. It's celebrated. And it's announced on radio, on TV stations, as if it's an achievement. I think it's when a bridge has been constructed, or there is, like in Benue State, where you have Jews here. Oranges are being wasted. There's no private partnership for people to bring in machines to produce, to process this, so that people can even have natural. We have the best orange in the whole world, in Benue State. But when you see how it gets rotten, so a lot of things are wrong. A lot is wrong. People don't have faith in going to the polls.
Well, that's changing gradually, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it?
It will, because now, at least for the first years, you could see that you have graduates that are under the scheme of N-Power. If you see these people celebrating, they are happy. You see them each time they get alert. They are alive. Do you get? So, and the process was like, you go online, you apply. You are not waiting to have a third force or a godfather somewhere. You just go online and they are picked.
If you do not have a job.
If you do not have a job. And if you fall under the category of 18 to, I think, 30 years. So they form themselves into groups, an association. And then you have, for the feeding program, the home feeding program, those who cook to feed the children.
The children in school,
you go to those schools and you see those children, they are happy. They are rushing to go to school because they have a meal for the day.
At least they will have one good meal.
So those women also, as a candidate, I've seen them because they've come to speak to me. Why are they in clusters now? Happiness. Somebody has put a smile on their faces. And that is President Mohamed Buhari.
People have their reservations and questions about that whole school feeding process scheme. Well, let's talk about women presently in the ongoing process. You're a woman, double chief.
Yes.
Running to go to the Senate in Benue State. If we look at our political process since 1999 till date, you can count If you go to the Senate, 109, maybe they would give us 9.
Yeah, just how many women?
Never up to 9, right, in the Senate?
Yeah.
And if you go to the House of Rep, 300 and something, you will have less
20,
than 30.
yeah.
Always less than 5-10%
Yes.
are women in the Senate. And as of right now, you said you're of the APC.
Yes.
And generally speaking, for the Senate, there are 9 women nationwide out of all the candidates applying to go for. Is it applying? Is that the word?
Vying.
Right.
Vying.
Thank you, sister. To go to the Senate, only 9 have gotten ticket from their political party, no matter how high or low the party is.
Yes.
So now we have to say less than 9 will go to the Senate. That is for sure, right? That's
Maybe,
still a very, very poor percentage, looking at
yes.
how women are faring in this particular, democracy, if you want to use that word.
You see, the issue of gender equality has been a problem. And so many women get scared, but not like me.
We can see that.
Yes, because you see, the issue is for me, I'm even married to Rivers.
Okay.
Right? And so when my people called me and said, look, for 28 years, where I come from, it's Kwandi, right? We have like 3 intermediaries. We have Sankara, we have Kwandi, and then we have Jechira. Now, Sankara have gone 16 times, right? For 4 times consecutively. Now, Jechira have gone for 12 years. And then where I come from is new. And what do they tell you? That Kwandi people are always loaning out their position. We give loan. When it's our turn, we say, look, we've not found a worthy son. Therefore, you give it to Sankara.
Okay.
And then after 4 years, Jechira will come. So we are in the middle. We are 3 sons, right? The first son have gone 4 times. The second son have gone 3 times. And then the third son, where I hail from, not even once. And what was the reason? Oh, they don't have worthy sons or they don't have money. When I came out, I forced men to come out too, right? And it was like, it's a taboo. You are married to Rivers State. I said, who said so? It's not a taboo. It's my right.
Yes.
It's dual citizenship.
Yes, it is.
I can contest in Rivers State,
I like how
and
she
I
said
have
that.
the right to contest in Benue State.
Yes, because it's been a problem
Yes.
over the years for women who
That's
are
it.
married from one
and
side.
so the moment you hear people talk negative, the idea is dropped into women, and then they come back and they sit back and said, hey, they are already saying a woman cannot have it. Who said it? Leadership comes from God. And you shouldn't make people mini gods to determine what you be. Try. There's no harm in trying. But to sit back and say, because they said you are a woman, how can a woman go to Senate? How can a man too go to Senate? There are issues that needs to be handled. For me,
if you see a fighter, isn't it?
if you see me anywhere, I have 7 local government under Zone A, under Benue Northeast. And when I go, I tell them, say double connection. And they are wondering, what is double connection? I want to hit where people think is where they are holding me back.
Okay.
As in where they think it's going to be a negative campaign for me.
Okay.
That I'm thief by birth, I'm married to a Rivers man. So when I say double connection, they say double connection, and ask them, why do you think I'm saying say double connection? Simple. If I go to the Senate, right, South people, they are meeting, I'm a member. North Central, I'm a member, right?
Yeah.
If I want a bill to sponsor a bill, my husband's people, the Niger Deltans, I'm their wife. They will support me. If I come to North Central, I am a daughter of the soil. So is that not double?
It is.
Double connection. Double connection in the South, double connection in the North. So they've lost nothing. They've only gained from my husband's people. Moi, Niger Deltans, come follow. They'll be saying, it's our wife. Oh. Then North Central will be saying, it's our daughter. Oh.
They're saying that...
swag.
Generally, if you ask around, they will tell you that these primaries in particular, that political parties did women dirty. That you have situations where a woman actually won, but eventually when the list comes out,
Yes.
We're not going to start calling party names. When the list comes out, you find out that there's a man. And most women don't even want to stand up and fight for their right. How did you go through it?
You know, for me, we had 4 men.
Okay.
3 were from Kwandi, where I come from.
Okay.
And then 1 was from Jechira. That's the people who have gone 12 years for Senate. Now, when we started, I have the video. It was peaceful and calm. The INEC officials came, they showed us the ballot and everything. Now, it was amazing. You could know where the election is going. We had 5 agents because we had 5 contestants, 4 men and 1 woman. Now, the agents were in front. So, what happened was, my agent was so busy. You know why he was busy? Some of the women can't write, and some of the men are not literate. So they need to give their ballot to somebody to write their name. I know what's funny. When they come, my husband's name is even big, Orubibi. So they are not used to it because I bear Mimi Azape Orubibi. I still maintained my father's name, right?
Yes.
Now, when they come, they tell you, the only woman, write her name here for me. Or some will say, that beautiful woman, write her name. Or some will say, Oru Jesse, Oru Juju. Anything, you know? So, it was that I saw women feeling, look, we've been deprived of this thing. Because I had to conscientize women. Look, you have the power to change things. Right? If you go for voting, you have more women voting than men. Women go out more to vote. Check when you go. Right? And then the power to change things is with you. How? If you go to bed, right? And your husband says, I'm not going to vote Mimi Azaporubi. What you need to do, wear a tight jeans, turn your back.
And go to bed.
Are you advocating wives on strike now?
Yes, so, yes, so, you know, at night, we have power. It's because most women don't know we have power. Don't argue with men in the daytime. Don't show your might.
Okay, we'll leave it there. I don't want to share it. Let's just leave it there. Oh my God.
You know, humility matters. Most times men feel, look, when we get to the top, we no more cook for them. We don't even take care of the kids. So the moment you show a man that your lunch is ready 2 o'clock, isn't it? And then at night when you retire, you don't keep saying, you know, we went for committee meeting, I'm tired. Once you keep those aside, and we show men that even with these positions, we are committed, we are humble, and we are still that good woman you married. Men will aid us to get to those positions. Some of the things I see is some women who have gotten to that position, some have divorced their husbands. They feel, look, you are not up to my class. And men keep watching all these things. And then another thing is intimidation. When you get to the pools, you see them having these bodybuilders, you know, to scare us. That kind of thing. And then women who are gullible, vulnerable. But for me, no. If you have those bodybuilders, I will address them. See me and Mama.
I was actually going to ask
have mercy on me. You know that kind of thing. During my primaries, they were there. But I was laughing with them and saying, you know, say, I be una mama. You know? So, anything they say people should do against those men that are sending you. Because it's like they throw knockout and all those things to scare people. Voters. I saw that happening that day. But the women were, they resisted. So you see women campaigning more for me because we are trying this gender thing. Once you go out for campaign and you sensitize them, we know where it hurts us more, isn't it? Will a man know where it hurts us more? No. We know in the kitchen, we discuss ourselves.
There's something else that has been of concern to me personally, where you talk about elections and women in politics, the seeming scarcity, I said seeming because I know they are not scarce, of capable women. coming out to vie for positions. With the ones who are capable, often go like, look, that's not my word, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And you have the ones that are just pushed forward because some man or some other people interest want to use them, just be there, we tell you what to do, kind of. Why is it that women don't really get actively involved in the forefront of politics in Nigeria? That's a challenge.
Money is one, right?
It's an expensive game, right?
Yes, very expensive.
It is expensive.
It is. Toggery is another issue. Sure, you know. You see these men, it's like, sometimes it's like bomb they will throw for you. Because they know, you know, by nature, we have a vulnerable heart. We easily get scared. So sometimes they could even send talks. Like me, sometimes they'll come and tell me, hey, see, they say, I say, I beg, they go. Say, hey, mama, they say, don't go for that election or you get calls. You know, if you go, you are dead. And I said, I'm already in the mortuary now. Somebody is dead, already dead. What do you need to fear?
We need to take a quick break.
Yes.
We're talking about elections here in the conversation room. Dr. Mimi and Rita, who is also an FCT INEC ambassador. When we get back, Rita, I would like you to tell us what we need to know when we actually go to the polls. Just the basics, because I'm sure you've done a bit of training. So I would like our conversation viewers to know exactly what they need to know. We'll be right back here on Conversations.
Hey, some people be acting like they know it all. Hey, oh, some people be acting like they know it all. Hey, oh, some people be acting like they know it all.
The beauty of democracy rests in the power the system has given to the teeming population to elect an eligible candidate of their choice for any political office. But the right to vote is not a license to kill. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people, where majority carries the vote. It is not a do-or-die affair. Your weapon at the poll is your permanent voter's card, not a dagger. Your future is in your hands. You have the right to leave. Don't cause trouble. Vote wisely.
We'll defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We're all we have. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll shine like the sun.
Say no to violence.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. See if she wants to ask something. No, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
It's Conversations here on NTA Network. It's a full house. We have Dr. Mimi, Rita, myself, and we have Mr. Chukuma. Tell us about yourself, what you do.
I'm a concerned Nigerian.
concerned about the elections.
Concerned about everything about Nigeria.
Nigeria.
I thought he was just concerned about the fact that there were 3 women talking in the studio and there was no guy.
No, that was the first thing that caught me.
Okay.
Then Doc was busy hitting the men. I was like, out. Who can rescue the men? Because the pressure was too much, the tension. And there's the thing the Bible said, like a sheep laid out to be slaughtered. I just said, okay, let me come here.
Mr. Chukwuma, it's a matter of equity.
Hey, okay, let's balance it now.
Okay, so out of all the things you've heard so far, is there anything you want to challenge specifically?
Well, there's something I need to differ from. She did mention that the men most times intimidate the women from contesting. I don't quite agree with that.
But she's speaking from experience, though. She's not speaking.
I'm also speaking from experience. Okay. I'm from a place where my wife loves politics, and I don't.
Okay.
So she's always at the forefront.
Okay.
Sometimes all I do is draw her back a bit, but it doesn't stop her from. Because it's nature.
Okay.
Now, some tribes, there are tribes in Nigeria that will always want the women to be at the back. Where there are some tribes where whatever position a woman wants to occupy, she could be there. So it could be from the point of the tribe, they are like you overshadowing your husband. But where there is everything left open for everyone, I don't think so. Also, I've had to have an aunt who is all over politics. The husband is not. And she's always been there. In fact, I think she was the one that initiated my wife. Because she is always at the forefront. She's always at the forefront. When you talk about politics, she's there to handle everything, and we are supporting her.
Okay.
Now, the most important thing is the role of the woman in the house or in our society, because when we try to compare, we also think of our background as a nation, as also our culture, where we are coming from, the kind of things that we expect our women to do. Now, most of our women, after reading some of these Beijing conference things, they'll come back to their homes and want to make their men understand that there is Beijing conference. What is obtained in Beijing is not obtained in Nigeria. So let's understand what happens in Nigeria. Now, when they are exposed to politics, they should also remember that there is a position for a woman in the house. Now, when the women begin to overstep the position of the women in the house, there are major responsibilities. Those responsibilities, we shouldn't allow the political quest to kill those responsibilities, because it also makes them, exposes the men to vulnerability. You understand? And before you know it, the home front is having challenge.
Okay.
While we are contesting, while we are going for election, we should also think that we have a responsibility at home. Our children are our responsibility, our husband, our family. We need to combine these two, balance them. If the women could understand that, if I balance it, every home, late Professor Dora Akonyele was a politician. Nobody had any crisis in her home. And I'm sure at every point her husband supported her.
True that.
The husband was always projecting her.
Yes.
There are some that their husbands are not projected because they know the implication of once this woman gets into this power, I don't turn rago.
And there are some who are just scared because they don't...
I think that it is a reason, but more of it's what we are talking about.
Do you know one thing I just love now? Doc don't mellow down small.
The thing is, you've not succeeded in convincing me that it's because of family rule. No. Why the issue is men. Men just feel, look, there are positions that it should be men.
Yes.
Right?
It's our birthright.
But what I see, if you have 2 children, a boy and a girl.
That's what I have.
Right? Now, if the girl is good at something, will you deprive that girl?
Because she's a girl?
Because she's a girl. I don't see that. What we want is development, right? So if you have a man that will go somewhere and be sleeping, like in the Senate, when they are discussing issues, somebody is sleeping. You sleep for 4 years and come back. And then you have a woman that will go and is up doing, all right? Is trying to draw development. Look at, in my place, the whole of Zone A, there is no university, right? Zone B has 3 universities.
In one state?
Yes.
Wow.
Then whose job is it to take statistics and do research and have a think tank? Because these are the things you have to bring to bear. You don't just make noise and say, my people don't have this. You need to show that in this state, they have so federal presence of university, polytechnic, college of education. So by the time you do your statistics and research and bring it to the table, approval is given. Because they will see
based on facts.
Facts. But when you have a man that will go and be sleeping, that does not want to research his head, then you tell me that I'm a woman, so I should stay. Then our children will graduate. There is no university there. The only college of education we have, states cannot pay. People have died. People have resigned. They cannot feed in. They've not expanded departments. Is it not better to have me a woman to go and challenge them there? Give me federal presence than a man that is sleeping.
What you sounds like the man
and
have
another
actually
thing is money too. Yeah. Money is there and intimidation. These men, they can intimidate. I know. Oh.
You know, I go back to what I said. It has to do with the places. I'm from the southeastern states.
Okay.
Culture.
Our culture, yes. Our culture. We have our women at the forefront.
But who changes culture?
Who
created culture?
You
heard my story.
Yes.
Look, sometimes our people in the village, you just need to tell them the naked truth. Because I had to go round and tell my parents, my grandparents, there is nothing wrong in your daughter being married in River State. It is a plus. Because right there in Senate, I need people that will support me. And my husband's people are there. The moment I say, Ijo, you know, I'm married to Ijo man. You know, all the Niger Deltans will support me. They started seeing me. So many bills cannot get scaled through if you don't have that kind of...
You need the support of your colleagues.
And my husband's people are there. They will love me. They will pet me. They will not throw me away. If I want to help my people, they will stand against me. It's not true. So the moment they knew that, if you go to Benue State, they call me double connection. It has become an adage. I don't know whether you get wrong. So gradually, that culture thing shifted away. But before, you cannot even say it. Yeah. A woman married and come back. Hey, our men are there. You need to explain to them that look, nothing is a minus. Yeah. Rather, I'm adding. Do you know your mother-in-law now? You, this man, do you know that your mother, maybe you did not even give your mother Christmas, but do you know your mother-in-law? You must give, if not, you won't sleep well now. You know now. That is how when we are married elsewhere, the people there come to do great things in our home. And I've made them, and everybody is clear. Now, I have a responsibility on my shoulder. If I go to this Senate and I fail to draw development to my place, that is when all women, even my own girl child, is in trouble. Because they'll say, we gave that woman, what did she do? Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And that's a very sweet chorus, you know.
Yes.
Oh, so and so woman was in this position.
But then if I go and I succeed,
100 men
if I go and I succeed, I have open ways.
To that.
Once it happens once, culture is defeated.
You're right.
Look at Binta Galba. Binta hails from Adamawa, right? Is married to somebody in Kaduna. Binta was first, because that's my role model. She was first party chairman for a woman. Do you get? To be a party, and she did wonderfully well. And then, she is now a senator and is the ticket from Adamawa, not from Kaduna.
Not from Kaduna.
What of Daisy Danjuma? From Edo State, married to Danjuma in Taraba. Is in the Senate, Edo. So this, I give my people
I can give another one.
More.
Anene.
It's true.
From Anambra.
So what my people needed to hear, has this happened before? And I said yes. And they are happy that it will happen. So they are now waiting to get breaking news.
Out of curiosity, how long have you been in active politics?
I'm not a politician. There's a thin line between humanity and politics.
Wouldn't you say she's a politician? Right.
I just got into it. I have never contested for anything. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a chartered tax practitioner. I have my CITN. I work with FRS for 16 years.
Wow.
Right? I was moved from Port Harcourt, Federal Inland Revenue, to head the Board of Internal Revenue, Benue State. Right?
Oh, okay. So did you just decide, okay, I have to do this, or they came to call you and say, you've done this much, come and...
That's what I'm saying, humanity. So they called me and said, look, we've been loaning out our seat. That's why Sankara have 16 years. That's where these people have 12 years. It's part of our turn. We didn't see our children, because it takes a lot of money, right, that would do this. You know now, Rivers, we have money now, oil. You know? So my husband was backing me up to do all this for my people.
That's really important.
And that's very important. Yes. If you have a man that believes in you, that knows, yes, even if Mimi gets there, I will have my food by 2 o'clock.
Good.
And so he supported me to do all these things for my people. And that's why I keep telling them, they know that this is a daughter that is married to Rivers. But if she's married to Rivers and came back and did all this, we've not seen a son of our own, both appointed or elected, that has done any of this. And so they called me, 59 chiefs, laid hands on this head and say, go succeed and come back. Wow. I tell you, blessings of your forefathers is not a joke.
Yes,
true. The day we went for primaries, 3 from Kwandi went outside, told Kwandi and Ushongu, we are stepping down for Mimi. Wow. What a kind gesture. Ordinarily, they would have said, look, we are men, you should step down. I did not even know when they went to speak with the delegates of my place and of 2 other local governments. We have stepped down, 3 men stepping down. It can only be God.
Wow.
And it means my people will no more suffer the way they've suffered. And I tell you, I've worked for this. I started with free medical. I got wheelchairs. You need to look at that video. It is then I discovered that this disabled, you know, up here, they are heavy. Some of the boys that were working with me could not lift them. I will jack them. You need to look at that video. Put them in all the wheelchairs. We did over 400 operations. Wow. And then my opponents were like, she's just doing it because of campaign. I said, but this is good campaign. Come and join me.
It's a good kind of campaign, yeah.
Join me now. If you do, we will have less people with hernia, with appendix and all this. Do you get? We have less people crawling on the floor. You see them with slippers, the ones I was carrying. So I did that in 2 days in each of the 7 local governments for 14 days. That has sunk into the people's mind. Now, my opponents will feel on that day they are bringing money to be giving people. They said they have 50 people each polling unit that will give 1,000 to go and vote. It won't work. It's not about money. People, do you believe that people are getting conscientized?
I was going to say that.
So money will fail. If you have anything, do for your people. Don't wait. Or do and rest. Like now I'm resting. I've done my best. I don't have any money to go and give anybody. Campaign is about telling the people what you would do and also trying to show them
what you've done in the past.
Okay, from what you've said, I could see passion. I could see the need to develop your place.
You have a new convert.
Yes. No. Frankly, I've always been of the opinion that the politics of money, giving money on the day of election is totally out of it. When people begin to bring value back home, crime will wiped off. Envy, thuggery, a lot of things would die off. Because one, nobody would see what you have done and want to go and take 1,000 and vote against you.
That is it, my brother.
Even the people around the person will say it's a lie. Now, the happy thing is that people are realizing that part of the money they give them on the election day is our change. So they will now collect and still vote for who they want to vote.
Person.
I am of the opinion that if you must contest in an election, bring value to your people. Whether you're a man or a woman.
That's what is important.
That's where I stand. And if you're not giving value...
Let's clap for him. Whether you are a man or a woman.
Whether you're a man or a woman.
Give me a high five.
The most important is, let's bring value to the people.
That's value.
People are suffering.
You
can't just take all the money meant for the people and... I once told people, I said, part of why it is still happening is our people. You meet someone who never had anything, and all of a sudden he has a political office. The next 2-3 months, he's coming home with big vehicle. and you are busy hailing the person, my chair, my chair. All of a sudden, the chiefs will now come in and give me a chieftaincy title. And you see his mate who had been in the village, who is not doing anything. Watch this guy. The next thing he will do, he will try everything possible to get into that place so that he has seen someone he is going to compete with. But when our people begin to reject those who loot and steal what belongs to the people and appropriate it to themselves, and you reject those people, you cast them out, they know that they're no longer impressing us. We want you to come back home and impress us with what we have sent you out to do. Absolutely. Give us good representation. Once the people know that, you see that the table will turn.
Because you know, like what he said about culture. Culture, there are things that break culture. I have a chieftaincy title. It's unheard of in Tivland to give a woman. Now, when that happened, people were like, do they give women? But because of these things I did in my community, they were not looking at culture again. Yes, they've seen the light. And my chief said, look, the title I wanted to give you was the bridge. And that when he slept, he had a dream. That was like God talking to him, don't give my daughter a political name. Give her a divine name. Because a bridge can wear and tear. But light, darkness can never overshadow it. Light can never diminish. I was given that. When some said, no, maybe it's because she has something. She's chairman BRS, Board of Internal Revenue. Then Enugu called me and gave me Adadio Ramma 1 of a high titi. Why? The chairman of Enugu, Emeka, we were close because in JTB, I was the only woman there. So things that has not been happening to people have happened to this life. That I drove revenue as a woman. First time in Benue State that a woman is chief executive of a board of internal revenue. And also Nigeria has 36 states with FCT. When we go for JTB, I'm the only woman seated. Because people believe, look, how can women be in taxation? I took the IG of police to court and I won from High Court to Supreme. Then my governor told me, look, don't put Benue State government there. And I don't want problem with police. I have no skeleton. Once people entrust things to you, make sure you do it well. So these are 3 significant things. That I drove revenue. I was heading a revenue board. I was given a chieftaincy title in Benue and in Enugu State. And also the first woman to get a ticket for Senate after 28 years in my intermediate.
Hopefully you drag that beyond just getting a ticket to being the first woman senator, actually.
It's a done deal. You will call me.
She said 2 a.m. We're going to get
You will not only call me, 3 of you will come to Benue.
We'll come for you.
We'll come to Benue. You can pack your bags.
We're running out of time. Rita, remember I said that you would tell us what we need to do when we get to the polls. You are an FCT INEC ambassador. There are things that we all need to know when we get there.
Yes, first we need to know what polls to go to.
Okay.
So it's important you check and know where your polling unit is so you don't find yourself in the wrong location knowing there's going to be restriction of movement.
That's right.
I, for one, I might be working, but I'm registered in Gariki and I now live in Apo. So it's up to me to know I have to leave my house early to be in Gariki, you know, before it's time for me not to be able to move. That's if I don't have like a free pass as a press person.
Okay.
And then be aware that there's a very long list this time around. And we like the fact that it's accreditation and then voting simultaneously. In the past, you do your accreditation, you go, and then you come back and then you vote. But we have been told that this is going to happen together. So you do your accreditation and then you go and vote.
Excellent.
And again, just like past elections, you're not saying the name of double chief, it is the party. So it's important that you as a candidate make sure that your party, your people know your party logo. And then you just thumbprint. It's a pretty long sheet because we have how many political parties?
73 or 72.
You know, so do your thumbprint and then you fold. There are videos. If you go to my page, I actually posted one of how you fold it and then you fold.
And make sure you thumbprint this way. If not, if it crosses the line, it's invalid.
And so that's why they said you can use any of your fingers. It's not that you must use your thumb. So if you think using your thumb will mean it spills and it makes your vote invalid, you can use your pinky. You can use any of your, you just make sure it's clear there that you voted. It doesn't matter which one you use. Okay. Okay, and that's true. And of course, we need to know that you're not allowed to go into the polling booths with your phones.
Yes.
No phones. And if you see any of their, the INEC officers using phones, oh, please report. There are hotlines you can call. I'll look for one and then maybe call one out before we are done. So, yeah, those are basic steps we need. And when you're done voting, by all means, just go home. I
go home.
No, I knew you were going to say that.
Don't go home. Stay and defend your vote.
Well, if you can, yes. But if you can't, go home. Let's also know that we have security agencies who are also key stakeholders.
Yes.
And we pray they play their role and do it efficiently and seem to be doing that without any bias.
Okay. Mr. Chukwuma, do you have any other last words as we round up?
Well, I pray that everyone that's going out to vote their conscience. Don't sell your vote. Don't collect money. Vote based on what you're convinced about. That's all.
That's all. Chief Mimi?
For me, I would say collect the money. They stole it. It's your money. But just like he said, be conscious. Collect, and like now in Benue, you can collect from Gemade and Susan and vote Mimi. Or if Mimi gives to, collect from Mimi and vote Susan. That kind of thing. But to say you will not collect, they will have too much money to continue to do us damage. Let us reduce the money by collecting it. There is no crime. But it's not a must that when you collect, you must vote them. Number 2, as she said, vote and go. Don't vote and go. Vote and stay there and follow them. Hey, they can change things.
You have your agents, right? That's what they're supposed to do.
Agents,
because it's easy for them to mitigate violence when you have a crowd. It's very
not
easy.
Crowd, few people. When they are there, agents are how many? These people have enough money. Let's vote and stay.
Okay.
And protect your vote.
And then them finish and announce it there. Then when they are carrying it, nothing can change because that time all of us have heard it is everywhere. Don't go. Please stay. And protect your vote.
It's one day. It's not too much to ask for.
And
right?
then for women, let's tell your men, you didn't say that should be your last word. That they should support us women. You have to say it before we leave.
Okay, please men.
You are not talking.
Men should support women.
Awesome.
So far, we didn't even get one.
Because he's on point.
I know you have
that INEC hotline. There are 2, but I'll just give one out. Okay. It's 081 5316 2663. I'll take that again. 081 5316 2663. If you have any challenges, as you're listening now, you can dial that number and make sure you go out and vote for the candidate of your choice. It's very important.
All right. I think with what Rita has said, we've come to the end of conversations. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. See you again next time. Goodbye.